After 32 years of testing UV systems for well water, we found that the Viqua VH410 is the best UV system for well water. We found the Viqua VH410 to be the best. High quality construction, reliability, and the way that it works, it's mounted on the wall, and as water passes through the chamber, it kills or disrupts the DNA structure of the bacteria and renders it dead before it goes anywhere else in your house. As far as I'm concerned, every well needs a UV light. That way you're covered as far as any bacteria, coliform, fecal, or any type of microorganism gets into the well water supply. It's taken care of as it passes through the UV system. And the best way to find out if your water is safe to drink, call a lab, have them come out and tell them you want to get a bacteria test. You want them to test for coliform and fecal bacteria, and that's the best way to find out whether or not you have bacteria in your well water supply. Basically, people ask, what size UV system do I need for my house? And like I said, we usually recommend the Viqua VH410 because it has a high gallon per minute flow rate. It has a 19 gallon per minute flow rate, so it won't really cut down on your flow or create a big pressure drop in your household water supply. There's other units that are smaller and less expensive, but they don't have the same GPM or gallon per minute flow rate that the Viqua VH410 does, and that makes a big difference as far as water usage goes. Typically, if you want your UV to work at optimal or be at optimal performance, you need to have clean, clear water running through the UV system, or it will cloud the crystal and drop the intensity of the UV bulb itself. So basically, you want to get your iron tested, your manganese tested, your hardness tested before installing a UV, because you may need an iron filter and a water softener to clean up the water before it goes through the UV system. Basically, when installing a UV system, depending on if you have other equipment in line or not, if you're just putting the UV in by itself, it would go well tank, sediment filter, and you need to have a sediment filter before the UV system, and then your UV system mounted on the wall. If you have an iron filter, a water softener, and a carbon tank, the UV system typically goes last in line. As far as servicing the UV system, it basically tells you when it's time to replace the bulb. It comes with an electronic counting box, and it counts from 365 down to 0. And when it gets around 11, which means 11 days out before the bulb needs to be replaced, it'll sound an alarm to let you know it's time to order a new bulb. So that's going to occur every 12 months. If the power goes out in the event of the storm and your UV has no power, it's not going to work, and you do not want to drink that water. We recommend buying bottled water until you get the UV back online. There's two types of disinfection for well water. There's chlorine injection, which we don't do and don't recommend, because if you put a chlorine injection system in, you're injecting chlorine into the water, you need a blending tank for contact time, and then you need a carbon filter after the blending tank to take the chlorine back out of the water so you can drink it, do laundry, etc. With the UV light, you mount it on the wall. There's no chemicals, there's no monthly maintenance. Basically, water passes through it. The bacteria is considered dead, and the water is considered potable, and you only have to replace the bulb once a year, so the maintenance on that is minimum.